Oh, I got you. Damn. All right, let's do another
Now
one.
I'm realizing there's a defensive element to this here.
These robots are beating each other up. You're saying that robots are beating up the American worker. So what is happening with automation that's going to hurt American workers?
36 million American workers could lose their jobs as early as 2030.
Just like that.
Just like that. 36 million jobs is a huge, almost an unimaginable social dislocation. And there is not a clear pathway to re-employing that number of people. There just isn't. Stop tax giveaways to corporations so that they automate, a robot tax to compensate when people are laid off, and a new federal agency to monitor and come up with a strategy to address automation.
So what is this robot tax? Oh!
No offense, guys. The robot tax is a simple idea. It was actually Bill Gates had it first. Every time you replace a human being with a robot, what happens? That human being doesn't have a livelihood anymore. The human was paying income taxes. The income taxes were paying for schools and roads and public safety. The robot's not paying any income taxes. Shouldn't the company bear some responsibility? Under my plan, the company either has to come up with an alternative employment for that worker in the company, or pay 5 years worth of payroll taxes, lump sum, to the government, and then the government uses it to retrain and reemploy workers. Right now, what's happening is our tax code actually rewards companies that automate and lay off a huge number of American workers. It got even worse when Trump and Republican Congress passed that big tax plan. So right now, in effect, our tax dollars are going to subsidize the loss of American jobs.
Is this going to prevent companies from automating jobs that really are best done by robots, or does this just mean that they'll pay a little bit more into the system and they will still have robots do those jobs?
It certainly allows a company freedom to innovate and to keep making sense of the work they do, but it accounts for the reality of working people.
People usually think of automation in terms of big factory jobs, but are we talking about other kinds of jobs as well?
I think your obvious examples, you're right, are things like the automobile industry. But it's in retail, it's in food services, it's in transportation. The single biggest job loss might be in trucking, where you're talking about potentially millions of Americans could lose their jobs to autonomous vehicles.
Self-driving cars.
Yes, and self-driving trucks. We'll need new employment in some field. The tax gives us the resources to do that and to have an actual plan that's resourced to make sure people get new employment. And that's why, again, a federal agency monitoring all this and giving some strategy to it is crucial.
Now, when people predicted the future years ago, there were some very positive utopian ideas with the idea that robots are doing all of the work and maybe in the future human beings aren't defined by their jobs, they're defined by their passions and their personal relationships. Is that a future that we should be moving toward instead of looking to penalize robots?
I think for many, many people, a lot of their sense of value and worth is caught up in their work. Folks who really care to perfect their work and are proud of their craft or the thing that they have learned to do. And it is a positive part of their identity, and it guarantees a livelihood.
All right, you win. And this robot owes you some tax.
I accept.